YouTube called me. So it turns out if you make a video about YouTube no longer suggesting one of your videos, YouTube will then turn around and start to promote that very video. So if you happen to be one of the 14 subscribers, as well as one of those people who contributed to over the 1,000 views that I have on this video to date, thank you so much. And thank you for coming back to my channel. So today I want to talk to you about what happened on that phone call with the YouTube employee, exactly why my YouTube video stopped being promoted, and of course, why it ended up being promoted in the first place. Let's start off with what caused my video to get promoted. Now, if you're watching this video without having watched the initial video that I made, I speculated in that video that my thought was that somebody over at YouTube said, hey, let's promote this random video and see what happens. Well, lo and behold, that's exactly what the case was. YouTube Search and Discovery did a manual push on some channels to promote videos that weren't getting any views and weren't getting any activity. And my video ended up being a part of that very experiment. They wanted to see, what would happen, just as I speculated. They wanted to see what would happen if they pushed certain videos out. Would people watch those videos? And in my case, yes, I actually got views. All of the stats and everything are over on that video if you want to start there and get some background and some context information. But yes, when the manual push happened by YouTube Search and Discovery, my video actually did gain momentum from that. Okay, so then you have to ask the question, if your video was getting viewed, why did YouTube all of a sudden just pull the switch and stop promoting it? YouTube's answer to that question was this. In comparison to other videos in the experiment, my video was underperforming. That's the reason why they did the manual shutdown and all of the views on my video just disappeared overnight, literally. Problem number one, this was the wrong way to measure performance, in my opinion. And the reason I say that is because to this day, there's still no other video, at least that I found, on this entire platform that's covering the topic in the way that I've covered it. So when you look at the video underperforming, what are you comparing it to when there are no other videos about that particular topic? I think in this case, what the YouTube Search and Discovery team should have done was to look at that individual video's performance and measure it against my channel as a whole, because you have to remember the whole reason why this video or why my channel or whatever was put into this experiment is because there was no activity. So I think the best way to have measured the performance of my particular video is to look at the fact that, did the video gain views? Yes, it did. Did the video gain watch time? Absolutely so. Did the video get new subscribers to my channel during the time that it was promoted? There's a check in that box too. So when you look at all of those things overall in comparison to my channel as a whole, I think the YouTube Search and Discovery team made the wrong decision when they measured it against videos that, they deemed to be performing well, and then decided to pull the plug on promoting my video. So let's get to the part where I actually get on a Google Hangout with a YouTube employee. How did that come about? Over in that initial video, I talked about how I, went on Twitter, tried to get some help from Twitter support. That didn't happen. And just became frustrated because I knew that there had to have been a reason, for my video just pretty much dropping off the face of the earth the way that it did. And I was just not going to be content until I got an answer. So it turns out that YouTube has a creator liaison. His name is Matt. And I had watched his video when they had brought him on. And I will link that information down below in the video notes. And I got on Twitter and I started to tweet to Matt and tell him, hey, look, I need for you to take a look at this, please. There's definitely something going on. And he responded, hey, you need to check out, reach out to Twitter support, send him screenshots. I'm pretty much been going in circles with them. Really, really, really could use your help with this. And thankfully he listened. So before we actually got on our video call, we spent some time DMing because he wanted to get some background information. And during the process where we were DMing each other, he actually did give me some really, really good feedback that was super encouraging. And one of the things that he said that really meant a lot and stuck out to me was the fact that as I was sharing the different data and information with him about the particular video and about my channel as a whole, he said something along the lines of, I can tell that you are taking this seriously and I don't want you to get discouraged. Oh, you know what? How about I'll pull up the actual DM and read those. Hold on, let me pull them up. This sun is not playing, but we need this natural sunlight, don't we? I'm so sorry about that glare. So before Matt actually reeled in somebody to help, he, I was just basically, telling him about, the ups and downs and everything that had happened. And it just kind of out of nowhere, channel got picked up. And he said, in general, though, we typically can't help creators due to fluctuations in search and discovery. That's unfortunately the reality of running a channel. I get that. But because I was paying so much attention to the back end analytics of my channel, I just could not take that for an answer. It was the way that the promoting of the video happened, like how it just went from on to off, was not reflective of any of the other channel activity that people tell you, happens as a result of your video being picked up organically by the YouTube algorithm. So that's why I just could not take no for an answer when it came to that. Matt went on to tell me that I have great quality with my videos. And so I took that to mean the quality of the information in my videos, the quality of the content, not the production value. Because you have to remember, I'm not over here, studying filmography and cinematography. I'm not trying to be the next Issa Rae or Steven Spielberg. I'm doing all of this with my phone. So I took that as a compliment, stating that the information that I'm sharing, the way that I'm presenting it, he gave me a pat on the back. As Matt was digging around in my analytics and waiting to get a response back from the search and discovery team, he was keeping me updated and just basically, observing the same things that I had seen, and know myself from looking at my analytics, that I am not, or at that time, and still not for the most part, I'm not getting that much traction from suggested videos, and that my views were overall flat. But here's exactly what he said that just really, really meant a lot to me. He said, clearly, you're passionate about your channel, so I don't want you to get discouraged. And I just thanked him, for that and said, hey, you are absolutely right. So then he comes back and he says, well, this is hopeful. There are about 20 people from the search and discovery team looking at your channel and your videos right now. He was very forthcoming and honest. He then said, I can't promise you anything, but I hope to get some answers and advice to you soon. So after getting the information back from search and discovery, that's when he offered to get on a Google Hangout with me, and we had an opportunity to talk. And that's the part where he started to offer me some advice about my channel. Matt and I are on the phone and he is giving me feedback on my channel. So piece of advice number one that he gave to me was to change my channel banner, because people would click on my channel, see the banner and not subscribe because the channel banner didn't pull them in. And at that time, I had a different channel banner from what I have now, and I hope I can find it and format it and pop it up here on the screen. But if I can't, I will admit that the channel banner was a little bit wordy, but I liked it, right? And my response to Matt was that I have never clicked on anybody's channel and subscribed simply because of what their channel banner looked like. And I've said this before in other videos, but I tend to make content and do things along the same lines as the way that I consume content. To drive that point home with some data, I looked at my subscriber statistics, and this is what I found out from my subscriber sources. 88% of my subscribers are coming from the YouTube watch page, which means that they're not even clicking over to my channel to see what my channel banner looks like. They're doing organically what I hope that they do. Watch a video, it resonates with them, it's relatable, helpful, whatever the case may be, and they decide from actually watching my content at that moment that they want to sign up and subscribe to my channel. So with only 26% of my subscribers at this point actually subscribing from my channel page, I'm not going to invest any more, money with my graphic designer to redo it. I have scaled down, and the existing banner that's on there now is the one that I'm going to keep, for a little while longer. But I did go ahead and I thought about it. I was like, okay, I understand the dynamics of YouTube. Some stuff you really have to water down and oversimplify. So I went ahead and had the channel banner changed. So over the course of our conversation, he was going through the different types of content that I had on my channel. And the second piece of advice that he gave me was that I needed to niche down and focus on a particular topic and stop experimenting with so many different videos. He said maybe focus on more meetup content, because that particular video at that time, I only had one meetup video. And at that particular time, the meetup video had the most views. So he thought, hey, why don't you make more videos around this? Because this is getting you a lot of views. At the time, I only had 13 videos on my channel. And I told him I was like, hey, I'm only 13 videos in. That's not nearly enough content or data to analyze to be able to see what's going to work and what's not going to work. And I think that I have time, I have the flexibility of being new to be able to experiment more with more content. And I still feel that way. Now, since then, I can say that I have, kind of centralized my focus more. And I can't say that it has helped or not. There are three purposes that my content needs to serve for me in order for me to be able to reach the overall passive income goals that I have with this channel. So I need content that's going to drive search traffic, right? I also need to make content that's going to attract subscribers. And then that third and final piece of content that I've got to hone in on is capitalizing on trends, because that's your opportunity as a small creator to hit that magic sweet spot in the algorithm and have your video pushed out and gain the traction that you need to quote unquote become viral, which then helps you to reach an audience and reach people that you wouldn't automatically be able to reach on your own. So as we were talking and exploring and he's listening to me, and asking really good questions, it came to be that I shared with him that the type of content that I really wanted to do was content that was centered more around personal finance. And he was like, okay, great. So how about this? How about if you make one video per week giving a personal finance tip? Do that and see if it grows your channel. I shot that down too, but let me tell you why. I could not think of a way to do that type of content in a way that wasn't already being done. There are a ton of creators in the personal finance space, and I did not want to fall into that category of the tip one, put all your money in the bank, and tip two, don't put your money in the bank, you should invest it. Like, I did not want to get into that category of you must do this, this, and this. Don't do this, this, and this type of personal finance content. So that's the reason why I chose not to go that route. But that advice that Matt gave me did indirectly help me, because it ended up bringing me to where I am on my channel now, with giving personal finance related information, but weaving in more of my own personal experiences with that content. So Matt, thank you. Whereas it may have looked like I completely wasted your time and did not take anything seriously that you told me, I really did. But I just had to figure out a way that it would work for me and how it would make sense, for me and my channel, long term. I will never succumb to any of these, quick overnight, get 1 million subscribers in the next 30 days, type of tactics and gimmicks. Everything that I'm doing is from the standpoint of creating a channel that can continue to live on with perennial evergreen content that people will want to watch. But it all boils down to knowing what it is that you want for yourself as a creator, paying attention to your own analytics, and then using all of that information and creating content that will help you advance your goals here on this platform. And if you want to see some of the YouTube tactics that I have used to get people to watch my videos longer, take a look at this video right here. And if you've gotten this far and you are intrigued about how this video came about, take a look at this initial video that I made where I'm talking about YouTube not suggesting my video, and I'll see you over on the other side. Thanks for watching.